Alright, this is going to be a video of this 42-inch SMC brand Windsor Ceiling Fan I got at the Habitat Restore. I got it because I volunteer there, and what I do for them is refurbish ceiling fans they receive by donation and make them more sellable and run better than how they originally came in. Now, before I actually get to demonstrating the fan, I am going to point out a very unique feature that it has, and that is that this fan has two modes to it, normal and economy. Now on normal mode, you just have your standard 3 speeds, high, medium, and low. When you switch it to economy mode, the low speed is actually slower and uses less energy. I guess it would probably be good if you need only a small amount of air circulation in a room and you don't want to waste power on that. Without any further ado here though, I will actually demonstrate it. Show the light kit first. And I'm using 3 60 watt equivalent energy saving compact fluorescent bulbs in here. And I'll turn that off. Now I'm going to turn the fan itself on and start the high speed. Now RPM wise, it's probably going to spin at maybe 225. It's a really fast little fan. Blows a pretty good amount of air too for its size. And originally the bearings were quite worn out on this. They're quite loud, but after I put some oil in it, it actually did quiet them down quite a bit. So now it's actually a pretty smooth running fan, especially for an SMC. Alright, now for medium. This is going to slow down to maybe 190 RPM. Maybe 195. Now for low speed on normal mode, which is going to do about 80 RPM, somewhere around there. And on economy mode, which I'll show with the fan light on at the same time here, low is going to slow down to about 60 RPM. There's not really a huge difference, but it does blow slightly less air and use a little bit less energy. Now I'll turn everything off. Stop the blades here. And I'm going to talk about some general information on this fan. I believe this was actually sold at Sears and not at Canadian Tire, like a lot of other SMC fans. There was also a Windsor fan sold at Canadian Tire, but it was slightly different. For one thing, it didn't have this normal and economy switch, and also the blade brackets were slightly different than these. Now I'm going to be discussing the pros and cons about this fan and what I'd give it a ranking out of 5 stars. I really do like the globes on it. They're pretty specific to this model. Not too many other SMCs use this, at least that I've seen. Very classy actually. Another thing is the blades are reversible. One side is bleached oak, the other side is white. I'm using the bleached oak side because I think the white side just looks a little bit plain. Plus with these globes it actually does look quite nice. And it can be downrod or flush mounted for different ceiling heights. I currently have it on the downrod setup because it's the most standard style of mounting. It's actually a really well built fan. Metal parts and motor are quite big and heavy duty. So it's definitely quality. It also wouldn't have been cheap back in the day, 1996. When it was actually sold, probably would have been at least 150 to 200 bucks. So definitely not the cheapest SMC fan out there, quality-wise and price-wise as well. What I don't like about it is it does have a slight wobble because one of the blades is a little bit bent, and also, even though the airflow isn't bad, the blade pitch is kind of mediocre on this. I think I am going to leave it the way it is though, because it does push a fairly good amount of air as it is, but I have seen some SMC fans with better blade pitch. Overall, I'd probably have to give this 4.5 out of 5 stars because the economy feature is quite unique and also not very common on SMC fans. And yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if anybody could give me more information on this exact model, because I've really not seen too many of these, that would be much appreciated. And also, one thing I'm going to point out before I stop the video here is that it also has a reversing switch, just like you'd see on a lot of American fans at the time. This one actually is a Canadian model though, so it's quite odd that it has a reversing switch as opposed to a reversing pull chain. I guess that concludes the video.